Hello, I'm Sarah Brownlow, and I'm addressing PSEL number 2, which is the Standard of Ethics and Professional Norms. The standard states that effective educational leaders act ethically and according to professional norms to promote each student's academic success and well-being. So this standard has many layers, and it just talks about what effective leaders have. So they act ethically and professionally in their conduct, in their decisions, in their relationship with others, and in their decision making. They have integrity, they're fair, they're transparent, they collaborate. They also place children at the center of education, and they take responsibility for all of the students and their well-being. Effective leaders also promote responsibility and freedoms. They promote social justices and diversity within the schools, and they lead with interpersonal and communication skills. And then finally, they are basically the overall moral direction for the school by promoting their ethical and professional behavior for the faculty and the staff. So from this standard, I found an article which is entitled, "How Shall I Act? Nurturing the Dramatic and Ethical Imagination of Educational Leaders." This was a research study by Cranston and Kusanovich, which looks into how participants in educational leadership studies are not properly prepared to face the realities of the ethical decisions that arise within the field, and how they look at how reading scenarios from a textbook and just learning about them in the safety of the classroom actually does not provide a meaningful way for these educational leaders to deal with the real world ethical and moral decisions and the emotional part that plays into it as well. And so they had 28 participants, and what they decided to do was engage them in ethno-theater and ethno-dramatic processes. So they actually had the educational leaders, the students who were in educational leadership come, and they acted out these situations and scenarios through a script. So they play the active roles in drama to learn about these situations and talk about the strategies that they would use for each situation and scenario. So some of them were like discrimination that an ethical leader has to deal with in the school, how to fire a teacher, the grace period of when is it appropriate to kind of step in and talk with a teacher that's having difficulties or difficult to work with, or just different aspects like this. So they had many findings, but they categorized them into two themes. And so the two themes showed that participants understood that leadership roles have several collaborative pieces, but there are going to be parts that the educational leader has to decide by themselves. And so that's where that ethic piece comes in, as how do you decide by yourself what to do morally and ethically. And then the second finding was that there is a need in our educational leadership programs for this different kind of engagement through innovative learning methods. And ethno-theater was one way that they addressed this. So the question that I have, I kind of put it in two parts because I wanted to hear two different sides of it. But the first question was, in your opinion, do you believe that there are specific behaviors or characteristics that define an ethical leader? And then I also wanted to hear from people that already hold at the educational leader positions. So my question for these people is, what kind of ethical challenges do you encounter as an educational leader, and what are some of the practices that you employ to solve them? So thank you so much.